Welcome back to Emerald Lilywhite, the official YouTube channel of Seattle Spurs. I am your host today, standing in for Scott. I'm Max at Going Limbs on Twitter. I'm joined by Alex Chang at Alex Chang with an X instead of an A on Twitter, Keegan McMurray, and then a first-time guest, Daniel Arevalo, here to my right. And yeah, so this is a big episode. It's the season preview. But before we get to that, we had the first official game of the Thomas Frank era yesterday against Paris Saint-Germain in the Super Cup, and Spurs fall 2-2 on penalties to PSG in this match. Yeah, so I'm gonna toss it to Chang. What was your reaction to the game as a whole? How are you feeling? Like, are you still disappointed that we were only a couple minutes away from lifting another trophy, or are you feeling more optimistic after what I think was a encouraging performance against one of the better teams in the world?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start off by saying it was obviously a great performance, just a little bit short. And that's the thing, like you can't give those like types of quality teams that little foothold in the game, because once you give them that little foothold, they'll take another, and that's how we conceded. Like, I think that Thomas Frank got a lot right with his tactics. I think our pressing, I thought our midfield was actually fantastic. We had the legs. Paulinho was great, solid, and something that I noticed, that even after he got subbed out, he was still on the sideline, like giving instructions, which is like something that to me, like, it's a pretty big deal. I think, like, to have that type of leader, and to, like, especially when he was subbed out for Archie Gray, like someone who's a little less experienced in that situation, like just having that presence on the touchline. But Thomas Frank got a lot right. I think Pap Sarr was fantastic. I think Richarlison and Kudus worked their ass off. And yeah, like Paulinho was solid. I thought Bentancur was also solid. Jed Spence, fantastic. Gave Hakimi the work like almost the entire game. I thought, and something I did notice was that Jed Spence is a lot faster than I did think. So yeah, I think that Frank got his subs a little bit wrong. Which is kind of like something to be taken for granted at this point, where he doesn't really know all the players and he's still trying to figure out who can I sub in on these like high pressure, like big games. So that you can't really fault him for, but I do think that there were a lot of promising signs. Obviously disappointed to not lift that trophy, but there are good signs and there are a lot of things to work off of going into the new season.
Yeah. Keegan, where do you think it went wrong in the end? Like, do you think it was the substitutions? Because I think a lot of people are saying that, and I think I agree with Chang. Like, maybe he got him wrong, but what would you have done differently in hindsight?
I think it's really difficult to put any blame on Thomas Frank. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me that the quality of subs that we had to put on, I think, especially in the midfield, are just very different than the quality of their bench. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it was our subs that made the difference. I'd say it was their subs that made the difference. I mean, you bring on Fabian Ruiz, that totally changed everything in the midfield. Like he was able to kind of calm them down and then sort of like speed up their possession play. And then once he was in the game, along with Kang In Lee, like they just were able to take back a ton of territory very, very easily and sort of break our press. And we're bringing in obviously Archie Gray. I kind of forget who else came in the midfield. I think Breakout came in pretty late. But yeah, I mean that's difficult for them to come in and be playing against that level of opposition. And yeah, like obviously PSG were not the top of their game early on. That was very clearly evident, and we took advantage of that. But they are the best team in the world in terms of quality right now, and I'd stand by that. And that ended up showing in the last 7 minutes of the game. And obviously it's gutting. I didn't think that I cared about it as much as I did until we were up 2-0 in the 70th minute, and my heart was racing. So yeah, it's definitely a type of game. If you win that game, it's a established European trophy, and if you lose it, it's a glorified friendly. So
Yeah, Daniel. So, what do you think were the biggest takeaways from the Super Cup for how Frank's going to set up this year at Tottenham? Like, do you think it was an encouraging performance there, and like, how does that tell you about like what he's tactically going to do throughout the
Yeah,
season?
I think tactically, I thought he did a great job. I thought the 3-5-2 worked perfectly against the PSG team that he knew that was just going to attack. And I know that he was quoted in the Bayern Munich game, you know, after the Bayern Munich game, that kind of made the decision for him about how he was going to switch to this 3-5-2 formation. So I think he has a lot of flexibility. I think it's very different than Ange in that. And I think that's what we're going to have this season with the players that we have. I think we're just going to have to, especially with Madison getting injured and out for the year, we're going to have to be flexible, especially when we play weekends and then weekdays. I think Thomas Frank is the perfect manager for that.
Yeah, so that kind of moves us into our next topic, which Spurs are moving on Eze and Savinho, it looks like. I mean, bids submitted in the last 24 hours for both players. I'll kick it back to you, Daniel. Yep. Like, if you could make one of these signings, who would it be? And if we do make both, like, how much does that improve our chances?
You know, I like watching City, so I watch a lot of City games. So Savinho, for me, is just I think he has that piece that going forward he can give us. At City with Pep is very structured, and Savinho just didn't really fit that type of play. So I think with Thomas Frank in that kind of mold, I think he could use them in different positions, and I think could help us going forward, because I think that's something that we're missing. You know, I'm not the biggest Richarlison fan, so I think we need someone like Savinho going down the byline, putting in crosses for people to get into the bloody box and someone finish it. So yeah, I think Eze is a great player too, but I like Savinho.
Yeah, do you think? I think like the glaring hole in the side right now is the number 10. I mean, I've heard grumblings that Savinho could play number 10. He's also left-footed, so he could play on the right wing, which could move Kudus to the number 10. Like, how would you see that shaking out, like, assuming we only get Savinho in this case?
Yeah, I think Thomas Frank, tried that 4-2-3-1 against Bayern Munich type of formation. And I think he realized quickly that we don't have those attacking wingers. And I think if it was up to him, he would want to go to that 4-2-3-1 formation and not be stuck playing that 5 in the back, especially when you go and play against Burnley. You know, you're not going to play 5 in the back with that. You're going to need some width in it. And right now, I just don't see that type of quality that we have. And I think Savinho just brings the speed, and he cuts inside so well, especially with his left foot. Playing him on the right, cutting back into the left, I think he gives us a little flexibility, especially in that 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. So Keegan, do you think we get these over the line? How are you feeling, like, confidence percentage wise? Like, do you think it's likely that we get both, or just one? Which one feels more likely to you?
Yeah, it's really difficult. Every bone in my body is telling me to not get my hopes up. But I mean that when you start to think about the options you have in the front line with both of these players and our team, it's mouth-watering. It's so exciting. I think that at the moment, for me, it feels like the Eze deal is the one that's kind of heating up. I mean, I think Palace are less reserved to sell than City are, from what I've heard. Obviously, I think that's just because of Eze's age and his contract situation. I think it'll be a slightly easier done. What is sort of baffling to me is the fact that both players seem to be very keen, if not like pushing for a move to Spurs. Which then for me is like, it's on us at this point. Like, we need to agree a fee. Like these players are like there's not going to be another opportunity where you have this level of quality that's excited to come to play for a Tottenham team that finished 17th last season. I think both of these players would absolutely revitalize our front line. I mean, I was looking at our front line 2 weeks ago before these two links and feeling like extremely nervous. I mean, I know we've sort of talked about it a lot, but with the loss of Kulu and Matters and Sonny, that's like 60 to 70 direct goal contributions that are ripped out of our squad. And you have to replace that with quality in some shape or form. I think specifically Eze probably does that more directly. I mean, he's been a GA machine the past couple of seasons. Although I think that Thomas Frank has the ability to really get that out of Savinho. I mean, Savinho finished, I think, last season with 11 total assists. I think he's such a creative winger. That's something I think we really lack. I think Kudus does that to an extent, but I think that's like Savinho's specialty is his creativity. He opens up spaces like so easily, and he just has a massive amount of quality on his crosses. I think he obviously has some work to do on his finishing, but yeah, really excited about both these players. I think Eze might be the one to get done first. I think Savinho might rumble on maybe to the later stages of next week if I were to make a guess, but I think that we'll hopefully wake up tomorrow morning to some advances made on that.
Yeah, Cheng, you think we get one done before we go play Burnley on Saturday? I mean, it's essentially like we have a free week. I don't want to like jinx us, but like Burnley is so shit. Like we are not like we have another week before we have to play real football. Do you think one of them? How do you think this shakes out? And I think you've been a little more like hesitant on Savinho. So if you want to talk about that a little bit, go for it.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, like, as Tottenham fans, we all do know how transfers usually go. Drags out a little bit. From what I've seen most recently, I think Spurs are preparing their first bid for Eze, and they just had a 43 million euro bid rejected for Savinho because Man City want upwards of 60 million. So I think it's really on the Savinho deal. It's really about meeting them at a price point that both clubs are happy with. I do know that Man City want to target Rodrigo, so they're trying to offload Savinho at this point. And I think that if you look at our front, if you look at our options for our front three right now, like we don't really have a bang on front three that we want to rely on week in, week out. I think Kudus, obviously right wing, but if you look at the striker position, Solanke or Charleston is actually looking to be more of a toss-up than we previously thought. And left wing is just completely up for grabs, whether Tell, Odebear, maybe Johnson wants to make the move out there. It's just too unreliable at this point to really have that bang on like front three every week. I think out of the two deals, I would prefer Eze, just because that glaring hole at the moment is at the number 10. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've watched a ton at Crystal Palace, so I can't really speak on like what his greatest attributes are. But I think that with these deals, hopefully we get them done by the first match week, which is Burnley. Spurs actually have won their first game of the season for the last 4 years, so hopefully we can keep that streak going. But
Didn't we draw?
I think we drew to Brentford 2 years ago.
Maybe we're unbeaten. Maybe we're unbeaten. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're unbeaten for the last 4 years on opening day. So hopefully we can keep that streak going. It is Burnley, newly promoted side. So hopefully we can feel the weaker team. Maybe give some Super Cup guys a rest. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think
last word is shame. We're gonna get beat.
Yeah, I think that that Eze, what he's gonna bring is the passing aspects that I feel like our team completely lacks right now, especially from the midfield. Like his playmaking, just passing is so much better than anyone we have right now. I think we have a lot of dribblers, a lot of finishers, like people that specialize in that type of thing. We've been missing a passer. It makes me feel better if we get Eze done about the Paulinho thing. I think with him in the midfield, it just gives us way more creativity, so that when Paulinho, like pretty much 1/3 of our midfield can't do anything going forward, at least we have more of an outlet. And then we have a bunch of players, Sar, Bentancur, Bergvall, that can all play that box-to-box role. So that would be exciting. I think Savinho points me to believe that maybe he sees John's sides, don't get me wrong, but he is left-footed, and I feel like those guys gravitate towards the right wing. Obviously, we would want to start Savinho and Kudus together, but if we are playing 2 games a week, that would be awesome, because like the Prem is super important this year. We don't have a direct path to making Champions League football outside of finishing high in the Premier League. So it's super important. And then we do have the Champions League, which we also want to compete in. So I feel like maybe the left wing is going to be Odegaard, Tell, Johnson, Richie even in the mix there. And if we have like a really, really big game that we're getting up for, then we'd likely see like a Savinho-Kudus pairing. But I wonder how he would make those two work together, or if they would kind of do like a switching off type thing. But yeah, let's get into our season predictions.
Before we do the predictions, do we want to, in any of these predictions, do we want to not assume that we get either of these deals over the line? Or I know
so for one of my predictions, I put one of those people in as my prediction.
Let's assume they're Spurs players by Manchester City.
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, how I viewed it is like, these are predictions for Tottenham, and we can predict any player. Like, it doesn't have to be a Tottenham player, because like at the end of the season, I mean, who even knows? So I have one player that
Mbappe top scorer.
I have a Lamine Yamal top assister. So
nice W. Yeah. So that's the case. So let's get right into it. We have a bunch of categories. I'll run through them really quickly. Young player of the season. I set a U21. Like, we have so many young players. I just set a U21 tag on that one. So if they're like U21, breakout / improvement, I thought like whoever you think is going to break out this season. Disappointment, newcomer. So I think that category like could be a newcomer. Like, we still got 2 more weeks left in the window. Like, could be someone that's not currently on the team. Golden boot, playmaker / most assists. Random prediction. I just thought it would be fun, like just a random Spurs related prediction, like something that's going to happen during the season. Player of the season, and then UCL prediction. What stage are we going to go out? Or are we going to win? That was like a Freudian slip, I guess. But and I was going to ask you all, like, just for one team that you think has a good shot at the UCL this year. And then cup predictions. Are Spurs going to win one of the domestic cups? And then Prem predictions. Where are Spurs going to finish? Give me your top 5, which is likely going to be the Champions League. And maybe Spurs are in that, maybe they aren't. And then the bottom 3 that you see going down. So I'll start with Chang, young player of the season. Who you got?
I was kind of reviewing our options, but I have Bergvall.
Why?
Shit. I think out of like him, Odegaard, Gray, like what, Kota Takai, Vuskovic. Oh, did I not? My bad. Yeah, Tell as well. I just don't really see those other guys making an impact. And I think Bergvall came off a pretty good debut season. Obviously, started off a little bit shaky, definitely grew into the role by the end of the season. So I think that he can capitalize off that momentum that he's built from last season going to this season. And I hope that he really cements his place into the starting 11. I've seen a lot of calls for him as a bang-on starter. I do think that this preseason has shown that maybe his place isn't as concrete as we might have thought going into preseason, with players like Pap Sarr playing honestly out of his mind. But yeah, I think Bergvall out of our U21 options is probably my not probably, but he is my young player this season.
Keegan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely the obvious pick, and I think I'd probably say Bergvall as well. Although I would want to mention, I thought it was interesting that Archie Gray got subbed on before him. Maybe that was just because Archie was coming on for Paulinho as the 6. But I was sort of surprised to see Archie in that position, and it might make me think that Archie might play a bigger role than we think, and could give him an opportunity to take that role. But I would definitely lean towards Bergvall. Maybe give a shout out to Wilson Odobert as well, who's looked also very good in preseason. But I'll stick with Bergvall.
Yeah, Daniel.
I think this is going to be boring because I'm going to say the same thing. I think also with Bissouma, we don't know what's going to happen. He's been late to a bunch of stuff, I guess. So I think there's going to be room there. And Bentancur, you never know with Bentancur what's going to happen, And so I think there's going to be opportunities for him to play a bigger role than last year, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I have Bergvall as well. I mean, yeah, I struggled. I had some doubts just because of how good Sarr has been, like Chang mentioned. Bentancur, like Frank seems to love him. Like he played all 90 minutes yesterday. And then Paulinho, like Gray, I don't know. It seems like Frank really likes Gray as well. We have a lot of options in the 6/8 area right now. I don't know if I love any of them, to be honest. But it's going to be super interesting who gets the playing time. I love Lucas Bergvall. I love the way he plays. For his age, he's so good. Technically, he's physically super gifted, extremely attractive.
Yeah, super handsome.
Yeah, and like, what more can you say about the guy? I hope he gets his shot to prove himself this year. Like, this could be a big year for Lucas Bergvall. Kind of laid the groundwork last year, started getting a lot of minutes before he got injured towards the end of the season. Struggled ramping up this preseason, coming off the injury. I think he hasn't looked like super good, especially compared to like Bentancur and Sarr, who have been great. So maybe he'll get a shot against Burnley this weekend and get back into the swing of things. He's going to be really important for us if we want to have a good year. So yeah, I'll do reverse order, breakout / most improved. Daniel.
This one, I think this one's harder for me because I'm not the big Porro fan, and I know he had a good season last season. But for me, I think in this system with Thomas Frank, I think this will fit him perfectly, and I think he's just going to have a big season. And I've been a hater for sure of him. Especially, I've seen him when he's with City at first, and then wherever he was after that, Sporting or yeah. And so I think this will fit him. I think you saw the game against PSG, just that wing back area when he played with Conte. That wing back position was where he excelled the best. So for me, that's going to be my breakout player.
Yeah, and I'd say, like, if we don't have Eze, like, he is literally our best playmaker in the entire team. I don't know. That can say a lot of things about Lange, Levy, however the fuck we're building this team. But, like, the truth is he's the best passer, the best playmaker we have right now. So I totally think that Frank wants to highlight him as one of the more important players. Chang?
I have Sarr. I think kind of recency bias, but Sarr has always been someone I really like. I think at the beginning of the Ange Postecoglou era, where it was like his first time playing with Tottenham, he's always been very promising. Obviously has an insane motor. Like the kid is just everywhere, covers so much ground. He's so lanky. Like he just pops up everywhere, wins tackles, progresses the ball. Like, and I think he has that maturity for his age. He's only 22. That really like speaks a lot about his character and who he is even on the field. So I think that this preseason he's shown a lot of progress. He's obviously been given a little bit more of a chance with Bergvall sitting out of preseason a little bit. I think Pap Sarr's been starting. Obviously, two goals versus Wickham. absolute wonder goal versus Arsenal and a really nice performance against PSG. I think that this season he could find himself like maybe nailing on that 8 spot or even 10 if for some reason we don't get Eze through the door. Playing in that like 10 as a high presser, like next to the striker. And Frank seems to like him a lot. So I think that this could be an absolutely massive season for him. He's shown a lot of promise throughout both his Tottenham career and this preseason. So I think this could be his breakout year.
Yeah, I 100%. He's looked great. He's looked great, and he's just a good player. Like that's a type of player that good teams have. Like not necessarily like a marquee player, but like great depth for a team that wants to compete.
And his work rate.
Yeah, his work rate is insane. Like he was everywhere yesterday. It was unreal. Keegan, what you got?
Yeah, you guys sort of said it all. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hop on the Pape train as well. Yeah, just a joy to watch. Covers every blade of grass. Just has endless lungs. It feels like. I think that his most important quality is kind of his underrated strength. Like I feel like he wins so many duels that you just don't expect him to win. I think that was like really evident yesterday, especially against PSG. I mean, they played sort of a lightweight midfield with Douye in the midfield, along with Vitinha, and then I forget who the last one was. But Pape was just running riot on them, winning the ball back, pressing so high. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is probably the season where he kind of turns from being a really awesome squad option to being like one of the not the first names on the team sheet, but a player that's going to be playing significant minutes almost every game because he feels undroppable just for all of his contributions and as a player that pitches in goals and assists as well.
Yeah. So my breakout player is Mateus Tell. I'm just gonna stand on it right now. I think he's gonna be really good this year. I think he's gonna get, around 20 GA this year. I think he will work well in the system. He can play in the 3-5-2. He can play in the 4-2-3-1. He's one of those players that's fluid through both those systems. I know he didn't have the best performance yesterday. He's young. He needs to get used to playing under Frank. But he's the type of guy that in a 2-striker system, if he can get in behind, and we have one Dom, Richie, Kudus even that's doing more of a hold-up type striker, if they can work together, if we had a better passer playmaker like Eze, Tell running behind, that's a recipe for success. And if we're in the 4-2-3-1, I think that he's a really good dribbler, and I think he can create chances for the 10, for the striker, if we choose to put him more out wide and more isolated role. I'm high on Tell, man. And the abuse he's received yesterday, unacceptable, obviously. Chang, we can do it now. Chang was shitting on him all afternoon. So he said he doesn't. You said you don't see it. I don't see how you can say that, man. Like you don't see the potential at all. Like I'm baffled by that. I think Tell is going to have a great season.
Yeah, give me a disappointment right now.
All right, what's your disappointed?
All right, Matisse Tell. I think that he's obviously someone like even at Bayern, I did think was gonna be an up and coming future star. I think a few seasons ago he had like a goal or assist every like 88 minutes, something crazy like that. And but he never really found his spot in the starting 11. Obviously, playing behind Kane, it's hard to find minutes there. And I just think that throughout his Spurs tenure, he hasn't really shown me anything of worth to really like warrant 20 GA, which is absolutely insane. First of all, like he's not hitting those numbers. I'll give him maybe 5. Even
5 GA, dude. He had that last year
in the back half of the season.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
I think that's 5. Yeah.
I know he had the pen, he had the goal versus what?
Let me
I'll
pull
give
it
him
up.
10. I'll give him 10 then. He can have both ends of the season, bro. But anyways, I
He
haven't
had
seen
4. He had 4.
I haven't seen anything of worth. I think I can't name a single Matisse Tell memorable play off the top of my head. Um, I don't know. I think that if we get both Savino and Eze in, he is someone who's going to be very stretched for minutes. I think he'd obviously be behind. I think like he's behind the pecking order on the left wing, like behind Savino. He'd probably be behind Brennan Johnson,
Is
and
he
he's
though?
also
Because he came on before Johnson.
yeah, and he stunk it up, bro.
But he did. Like, what does that tell you?
I just think like Frank is still trying out players, and I feel like he hasn't taken his chance. And
Are
I
you
don't.
gonna sit here and tell me that Frank's gonna like Brennan Johnson more than Tell?
I'm saying like he gave him a
Do
chance.
you
And he
think
didn't do
Brennan's better
anything.
than Tell?
Do I think Brennan's better than Tell?
Yeah.
Right now, yeah,
Why?
because he scores more goals. Like he actually like he has the goals. He has the numbers.
If you think if Tell was in Brennan Johnson's body for all the goals he scored last season, how many do you think he scores?
What does that mean?
Like they were all tap-ins, bro.
What does that mean?
They were all tap-ins, dude. Tell
Dude,
is like
also,
just like a better overall player than Brennan
you
Johnson.
can't even tell me what Tell's best position is, bro. He's positionless. He's like one of those Jao Felix players. He's too
That's
slow
why
for
he
the
fits
wing.
Frank's
He's not
system,
big.
dude.
He's not
Frank's
big
system
enough for the
is
striker.
built for those type of players.
Dude, no. He doesn't even
Yes,
have a
dude.
position, bro.
Kudus played striker yesterday, man.
That's
Like,
because we're playing a terrorist 5-3-2, bro. But he has the attributes to play. Like Kudus has those attributes to like hold up the ball. He's like strong. He's a willing runner. Like Tell doesn't have any of that. Like what is his best attribute? It's not finishing. It's not positioning. It like might be dribbling.
I think it's his. I think it's finishing. I think it's finishing.
He's a horrible finisher, dude.
It hasn't come yet,
He's
but like
low-key a
you can't
horrible
ignore the Bayern stats, bro. He was a goal machine there.
He's also a goal machine for the France U21s. He's the France. Isn't he the France U21 captain? Like I think that his confidence and his leadership and like those like sort of intangibles are also really awesome. I think if we don't sign Savino, that Tell will be our starting left wing come by January time, and I think that he will get like. I don't think he'll get 20, but I think that he can get upwards of like 13, 14 goals and assists from the left.
And I
wing.
think it's like the reason I say 20, I agree with you. Like Savino is starting there if we sign him, but Tell the versatility that he has. Like we saw him on the right last year. He can play on the right like fairly well, I think, and he can cut in on his left foot, and it's not bad. It's not like Brennan who can't do that at all. I think that he'll get opportunities across the front three or in a front two, kind of like Charlison, like those, and maybe even Brennan himself like can play in the two striker system. We haven't seen it yet, but I think he's the type of player. His versatility and just his upside, like you can see that there's a player there, and I think Frank sees that. I think he sees that. He trusted him enough to put him in the game. However you feel about what happened, his penalty miss. The process was there on the penalty. It was like he sent the keeper. He just didn't put it on target. I know you have to put it on target, but penalties are hard sometimes, dude. Like Vitinha did the same shit, and he's one of the best players in the world.
Van de Ven's penalty was way worse than Tell's, I thought.
It was horrendous, bro. It was horrendous.
Nah, dude.
But,
the way I see it, like I think you have to put it on frame, like at the very minimum. I think.
Cheng, what's your penalty record?
I'm cold. I scored my last 1 out of 1, little bro.
What were you before that?
I won it as well.
What were you before that?
I don't know, but also I wouldn't be volunteering to take it. Like if I'm not good at it, I wouldn't volunteer to take it, bro.
It was clear that no one fucking else wanted it. Where was Romero, bro? Like, where was the captain of the team? You didn't want to take one. But
I will say,
yeah.
if Savino gets bought, Tell is probably his time is going to be limited.
He's getting 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, he's not getting
We're
anything.
playing
So
so
I can
many
see
games, bro. We have 8 fucking Champions League games guaranteed. I think
Tell's
he's
going to play a lot of minutes, even if Savino gets signed. I think that he'll I think that
Savino
Odegaard
tear his
and
ACL
Johnson,
first week, like
guaranteed.
Yeah, Keegan, who you got biggest disappointment?
I think it's pretty obviously going to be Brennan. I really want to say Vicario.
Oh, there we go.
I'm a massive Vicario
dude.
hater, and I know me and Max we disagree on a couple of things, but me and Max are the biggest Vicario haters ever. But I think I'll probably say Brennan, just because if you think about strictly statistics, there's simply no way Brennan recreates what he did last season. Ange Postecoglou's system was tailor made to get Brennan Johnson tap-ins. It's just very different. I think the major difference for me between Ange's system and Frank's system is the way that we create goals under Frank's can be very different. Frank relies a lot on the wingers to be very creative. Think of and create their own chances. Think of what Mbeumo and Kevin Schade and Wissa did for Brentford. It's not going to be sitting on the back post. It's going to be plays like Kudus and Savino beating their man and creating kind of their own chances. And Brennan just can't do that. He just simply can't do it. I know he said in an interview recently he wants to work on taking on players. You're 24 at this point, and League One fullbacks love going up against you because it's so easy.
Literal plumbers.
There is definitely qualities that Brennan has that are taken for granted by Spurs fans, but he's just not going to create what he did last season. I think he might even struggle for minutes when Frank realizes he'd rather be playing Tell and Odegaard than Brennan. I think the only way that Brennan plays a lot of minutes is if we sell Richie and we don't sign Savino.
Yep. I agree 100%. Coach?
I'm gonna go with Solanke. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan, and I don't know how he was it yesterday? Richarlison just. I'm not a Richarlison fan either, but I think in that system, he's got the pace. Solanke, I'm not a fan. I don't see how he fits, especially if we get players like Savino or someone else. I just don't see him getting as many minutes in.
Big time disagree with that take.
I'm not a fan of him.
I think
I disagree. I think that if we get Savino in, crossing it to Solanke, I think he's gonna have a breakout year.
They're gonna be crossing to Richarlison, bro.
I think if you look at Thomas Frank, pressing is his biggest thing, and I think Richarlison, he's not the best, but his pressing is always there, and I think Thomas Frank will use that more, especially in the front line, than Ange did and anyone else did. So I think he might get more minutes because of that. I don't see Solanke putting that type of pressure in those types of games, which is why Richarlison played.
I think Solanke's a good presser.
Solanke's I thought he was bought for his pressing. His pressing numbers are some of the best.
I don't know if he was bought. I think he was bought for his finishing, and it didn't really work too well last season. I can't blame him for that. But, I kind of agree, dude. You guys know how I feel about Solanke and Richarlison at this point. But I kind of just think that Richarlison's his versatility and just everything that he provides from that standpoint would be more valuable to a Frank system, especially in a two-striker for for all the stick that Tell got yesterday, bro. Solanke came on before him. Holy ghost, dude. He did not give us an outlet at all, bro. I thought Kudus and Richarlison were much better. Say what you guys want about coming back from injury. Yeah, I understand all of that. But at the same time, that's a senior player coming on and honestly just playing poorly. I think Tell got a lot of stick. I think that the penalty included some dumb fouls, but Solanke, they did the same thing yesterday. And I feel like Solanke kind of dodged a lot of criticism. Tell bit the bullet because of that missed pen.
I think that Solanke also came on with Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall, and came on the pitch when Fabian and Kenny Lee and Gonzalo Ramos did. I think that's when they just kind of took control of the game. I don't think Solanke even touched the ball. I'm not even sure that's really his fault. Like the game just totally changed with their subs. But I also think I'm a big Solanke. I'm not like a massive Solanke lover, but I really think he's going to do well this season. I think that's because think of the chance creation that you're getting last season with Sonny and Brennan Johnson as your starting wingers, behind you. Neither of those players. I mean, Sonny. I love Sonny to bits. He's
pissing on his grave.
I'm not pissing on his grave, but last season he was so average in chance creation and taking on his man. And Brennan Johnson is non-existent. I think he had maybe an assist last season. If you put Kudus and Savinho on the flanks with Solanke, he's going to get significantly more chances. He won't be asked to drop deep as much. The reason that you guys think he's not a very good finisher is just because he didn't get that a chance to I can't think of Solanke missing a ton of chances last season. I can think of Richarlison missing a shit ton of chances last season.
I mean, he's underperformed his XG last season though.
Don't most strikers do that?
I mean,
unless you're
not
Sonny?
Not like in Buemo, bro. Not like some players that are really good finishers. I don't have the stats in front of me, but maybe I'll pull those up later. Yeah. What are we on? Did I even go? Oh, disappointment. It's not Solanke for me because I think he still has a role to play on this team, and I think Richarlison's injury prone, and that Solanke is going to play a lot of minutes. It's Vicario, like Keegan said before, dude. I don't see it, man. I just don't get it. I just don't think he's that good at goalkeeper. And that penalty shootout just fucking pissed me off, dude. You can't go right. You can't guess right once, dude. He's faced 15 penalties for Spurs. I can't think of one time he's even got a fucking finger on the ball, man. And that's not his biggest issue. I think with his feet, it's just atrocious. It's a heart attack every time. I think Keegan or someone said that in the group chat yesterday. It's a heart attack. Chang. Yeah, shout out Chang. It's a heart attack every fucking time he gets the ball, dude. And I just don't trust him at all. And I think Kinski, the more comfortable he gets, the better at shot stopping he's going to get. And I feel like it's a lot easier to learn how to shot stop than it is to learn how to get better at claiming crosses or get better with your feet, which, I mean, I don't know about Kinski's cross-claiming ability to the extent that I do about Vicario's, but I do know that fucking Tony Kinski can ping the ball, and he's calm as fuck under pressure. And that's what I want from my goalkeeper. That's what the modern goalkeeper is. So my disappointment, Vicario.
I'll just build off that real quick. I think when Vicario's trying to ping it with his left foot, you can really see in his run up, he takes these very small steps. I think you can see in his run up that he's not very comfortable and not very confident in his left foot, and it looks like somebody who's hasn't really kicked their ball, or you can really tell that it's his weak foot and that he can't really get that accuracy on it. So next time you see him try and distribute left.
Is he lefty, bro? He might be lefty.
If he is, that's even worse because just looks like
I could be totally wrong.
He's not. He's
right. He's right.
Yeah, he looks so uncoordinated with his left foot. It's getting pretty bad, I think.
I think he was our worst player yesterday out of our starting 11. Our starting 11 was all pretty good yesterday. I think he was probably the worst. And he didn't have much saves to make, but I'm pretty sure he booted the ball directly out of bounds maybe 4 times.
No, I could see that. I can 100% see that.
And it looks like we're trying to do more of the long ball hold up stuff. Kudus and Richarlison, so good at that yesterday. Mm-hmm. He's just not the guy for that, man. He's not, and I think Kinski is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Newcomer. So I think this is a category where we could get frisky. We could go with a player that's not on Spurs yet. So I'll start with you, Coach. What do you got?
I just feel like I'm just rizzing up Savinho over here. But I I just think because I've watched so much City games and I see the potential of Savinho. And I think, like, I look at the game yesterday, and even if he starts on the bench, at least he gives us something going forward. You look at PSG, you look at their bench, Luis Enrique could do whatever he wanted in those last 10, 15 minutes. And you see that he just kept putting more attacking minded players on there, and it works. And even if he starts on the bench, he gives us at least something that I think is a little bit extra. And when he played for City and he came off of the bench, he usually did something. He created some opportunity. So I would love just to see him play on this team and see how he fits in this Thomas Frank system. Because again, I really believe that he can do something and help us attacking wise.
Yeah, Chang.
I have Kudus. I think if we're going off people that are actually in the door, Kudus has shown me a lot, and I think that anyone who thinks he's gonna flop, especially West Ham fans, they're just salty. I think he's shown a lot of promise. He had Nuno Mendes on strings. Lee was working him the entire game, and I think he just has so many physical attributes. He has the pace. He's like unbelievably strong, I think, which is something that's really stood out to me in preseason. But yeah, I think he's gonna have an absolutely terrific season. And as our starting right wing, like bang on starting right wing, he's just gonna have a lot of goals and assists. I think he's kind of like gonna be that Embuemo in the Thomas Frank system, and I think he's just gonna get a lot of goals. I think he's gonna be fantastic for us.
Yeah, I'll just go. Yeah, I have Kudus as well. He was my top signing, like he was the top player I wanted this window coming into it. The fact that we got him for the price that we did is absolutely insane. I thought he was wonderful yesterday. He's looked good in preseason. I'm super excited for Kudus at Tottenham. I think he's awesome. Keegan?
I'm gonna say somebody that it's like half to piss Max off and half because I actually think he's going to be important. I'm actually going to say João Palhinha. I think that just for what he's going to provide, especially in like really big like Champions League games, like we're going to likely play like a team like Bayern or Barcelona or PSG or Real Madrid in the Champions League, and like I think that having a player like that just like covers so much space and wins so many duels is going to be really important for us. I also think it's going to be consistently important when we played teams like City and Liverpool in the league, and I think he just provides us something that we don't really have. I think we're going to get to the end of the season and realize like maybe he wasn't as like maybe it's going to sound stupid because he's likely not going to be as flashy or productive as Kudus or potentially Eze or Savinho, but I think we're going to get to the end of the season and realize, wow, that was a really smart signing for what we needed, and he played a really important role to what we did.
Yeah, that would be my nightmare. Not just because I don't really like him as a player, but if he does have a good season and we fucking buy him for 30 million pounds, bro, I'm gonna lose my shit, dude.
I don't think we should re-sign him, no matter what.
Yeah, that would be a disaster. So, I mean,
but Max, can you agree that us getting him on loan has opened up the door for us spending big money on Savinho and Eze, and then he leaves next year, and then we go in hard for Adam Ward?
I think it's contingent
is that a great plan?
It's contingent on Eze for me. If we get Eze, I understand it. If we don't, it's a fucking disaster. Then the Adam Wharton point, I think that's just not like something that I can get on board with, because I think Adam Wharton's going to have a great season this year, and then it's going to be like, oh yeah, Tottenham, let's come to Tottenham. Like, psych, dude. No, I'm going to Liverpool. Like, I'm going to City. Like, I think after this season, like, we're not going to be able to get Adam Wharton. So I kind of thought this summer was the one where he was coming off maybe a disappointing season a little bit, where we could have capitalized on that. I feel like if he has a full season under his belt, going into the World Cup even, which he might make the squad have a great World Cup as well, could be tough for Spurs to get him. And that's just what frustrated me. And then United moving on Baliba, like, that's not great as well. But I see the idea behind it. If we are able to get Eze and Savino, then I mean, yeah, it's probably worth it. But it's just like, when are we going to address the 6 position? Feels like it's been a need for a couple of years now. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand. But I didn't put him as disappointment. So I think like I've warmed up a little bit. I guess he's just one dimensional as fuck, and I just don't like those type of players. All right. That leaves me. Oh, I already did. I already went for Kudus. All right, Golden Boot. Coach. You're muted.
Apologize. This is a little bit tricky for me because I know I talked a little bit smack about Solanke, but I don't like any of the strikers, to be honest. I don't like Richarlison. I think Kudus is probably our best person to get bloody goals in. I just don't see Richarlison and Solanke doing it, especially with the team we have right now. And I think not having Madison hurts. It hurts Richarlison and Solanke because I think he's one of our best playmakers. And if we wanted to get goals, they wanted to get goals. I think Madison was key for them. So I would have to go with Kudus on that. Not Tell or, any of that.
Yeah, Jane.
I'm gonna go for Solanke. I think that last season a little bit disappointing, but if you really just look at the service that he got, like when was he getting into dangerous positions? Like when was he receiving the ball like in front of goal? Like just never. Brandon Johnson wasn't passing to him. Like what the fuck? He was crossing it out of bounds. Son was just, I don't know, dude. I think Solanke with actual like tricky wingers who can find him in the box, who can get to the byline consistently and really cut it back. I think that he's gonna have a fantastic year.
Keegan?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be Solanke. I think also with the potential addition of Eze behind him, I think of the Eze Mateta partnership and how effective that is. And I think that Solanke is going to score quite a bit more goals. I think he could definitely work on just like the ability, like you think about the kinds of goals that Harry Kane scores, where he just like takes one touch, like gets it out of his feet and rips one in the bottom corner. Like his ability to get shots off quickly. It's like Solanke is just not on a level that they needs to be right now. But I think if Frank can really work on his ability to get shots off, that'll also help. But yeah, with the addition of tricky wingers and potentially Eze, I think that Solanke will be our top scorer. I actually do back him to get at least probably like 16 or 17 Prem goals and maybe 20 plus in all comps.
Yeah, I've Richarlison. That's my dog. I'm all in. I'm all in on Richarlison this season. If he stays healthy, he's going to score 20 goals. That's my take. Obviously, huge caveat. There's almost a 100% chance that he gets injured at some point. If it's a minor injury, maybe he still does that. I just think his heading ability, pretty excited about that. And I just think he's going to get a lot of chances. And I think when he's in a good form, he is unplayable out there. So I'm excited about Richarlison. Let's
never
go.
been unplayable. Never once in
Hey,
World Cup Brazil?
Maybe for Brazil.
World Cup Brazil, and then the first season under Ange when Son was hurt, or when Son was at the Asian Cup, he scored like 11 goals in like 8 games. It was unreal.
We lost like 8 of those games too.
No, we didn't. We were good. We were good then. That was back when Ange won games. Probably because of Richarlison. When you think about it, it all fell apart after he got hurt. So let's go. Let's ride. Pigeon gang. Playmaker. I'll start with myself. I have Eze. He's gonna get the most assists if he joins this team. I think he's gonna join the team. It's looking really positive. He's a great passer, like I said earlier. Ebery, Eze, get in, come on, fill that Madison role, dime up fucking Richarlison, and we're cooking different. Let's go. Chang?
I have Savino if he signs it, but I have Kudus if not. I just think like he just has so much raw ability, and I think that it's really gonna show. So
Keegan?
I think that if I were to say Ezer Savino, that would lock them into not signing for us. So I think I'll say Matisse Tell. I think he'll dial in that left wing position. I don't think it'll be a ton of assists. I don't think we have like guys that are just going to rack up assists. Maybe Pedro Porro will challenge for that, but I think that it'll be Matisse Tell if we don't sign either Savino or Eze. And I know that if I would have said Savino or Eze, then they would have. They're off to the Gooners tomorrow. So
Daniel?
Same. Savino or Eze if we can get them. I think I don't see anyone like Madison on this team that's going to fill that role.
Yeah. That's exciting. All right. This is a fun one. Random prediction. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's kind of just like so random, like that it was hard to explain. So I'll go first. This is kind of what I was thinking for the prediction. My random prediction this season is that Tony Kinski gets an assist. He just drops dimes all the fucking time. I think Vicario is going to get benched. And I back Kinski to get an assist, maybe two, maybe even two. So that's my prediction, my random prediction for the season. Keegan?
I didn't know that's the vibe we were going for. I mean that is definitely a sick prediction. I'm gonna say Odebear scores a hat trick in an early round Carabao Cup game. He just pulls out like, and we think he's the shit for the rest of the season. And shout out Wilson Odebear. I think I have a little crush on him. I just want to.
He's just cooking like Wickham. Yeah. That was fine. Shank.
I wrote that. I said that either Odebear or Tal gets a loan, and not to be pessimistic, but I said that Gray does not make it at this level.
What?
Damn,
like that's a career prediction. Like Archie Gray's,
he's bad.
I don't know. I think I just think whenever like he plays, like his standout performances were at center back first of all, and like he wasn't even like lights out at center back or anything. And then once he got moved into midfield, like he wasn't anything good, and I think he just kind of does nothing. Kind of just runs around. So
like you're going with like we play the full season with Archie Gray, and then next summer it's like Frank doesn't fancy Gray. Tottenham are looking to sell.
Like in 3 years he moves to like Derby.
So like a Harry Winks type situation.
So Oliver Skip. So he's
Oliver Skip. Yeah, that's bleak, dude.
That's sad. That just made me sad.
All right, Daniel.
I'm gonna go with Spurs will have a positive record against the Big Six.
Damn, I like that.
Let's go. That's
probably not gonna happen, but I like it.
I think Thomas Frank always played well with Brentford in the top six, and with a little bit more quality with Spurs, I think it will just help them even more.
Yeah, we also own Manchester United, so
true.
It's like pretty calm.
Yeah, we'll get to those Prem predictions because I don't know. United's looking pretty good, in my opinion. But so now the finale of these individual awards, player of the season. I'll kick it right back to you, Coach. Who do you got?
Player of the season. I don't know if this will happen, but I think that Romero will have one of the best seasons this year. I think him getting the captain armband, him taking ownership of this team, I think he's going to have a great season. And I think to be honest, I am very confident with the back line and our center back. So I think Romero is just gonna be the player that we need to fill in the Sun role in that leadership role.
Yeah, I'll just go right ahead. I have Romero as well. I mean, already bagged a goal. In my opinion, like genuinely like top 5 center back in the world.
Yep,
The world.
Say it.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Like at this point, like he's so fucking good. Like every game you watch him, you're like, how is this guy this good? How is he playing for Spurs? He's by far our best player. He's our captain. He's our player of the season for me. Keegan?
Yeah, I think this award is much harder to predict than like it sounds. I mean, Lucas Bergvall was our player of the year last year. Like,
yeah.
Like
what did we say at the end? Did we all say, or I know me and Chang in our review episode, I said Madison. I think Chang did too.
I think I said Matters.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's got to be Romero. I just think that with the captain's armband, that sort of sense of responsibility will hopefully kind of just take him to another level, which is difficult to even think that there could be another level. He's so good. But I think this is the season, especially where I think Romero starts getting credit outside of Spurs circles. I think that opposing fans are like, oh, I can't believe he got the captain's armband. He's so rash. He's going to get red cards. He's a terrible leader. Like he hasn't got a red card in 2 years. Like that's such a stupid, like, you don't watch Spurs take it if you say he's rash. Like he's aggressive, but like it's a very controlled aggression at this point. So I think this will be the season where it's finally like, yeah, Romero is on the level, if not better than Gabriel and Saliba. Like he is that level, and nobody would ever say that outside of Spurs circles. And I'm like someone who's like pretty realistic about like comparing Spurs players to other players. But I think that Romero is truly like probably our only world class player right now.
Agreed. Yeah, Chang.
Yeah, so clean sweep. I also have Romero. I think he can touch on a lot of points. I think that people who say he's a red card merchant are genuinely like really stupid. They just have like the most outdated information of all time, and he just gets no credit to the point where part of me wants to see him leave Spurs for a team like Real Madrid, where he actually gets his flowers. Like it's sad like having to argue with people when he won a World Cup, bro. Like I've never seen someone discount a World Cup like off a center back who started pretty much every single game. Like how like they just take that shit away from him, bro. Like
and Messi said was their most important player of the tournament.
Exactly. Messi said he's the best in the world, but apparently my friend who got cut from NSC thinks that Romero, like his opinion's better than Messi.
NSC, dude. That's crazy.
So, anyways, I just think that it's gonna be the year where he gets his flowers, he gets his credit, and I can't wait to see so many people eat their words because this guy is just fantastic. I don't know how he still plays for us, but with the armband, I think it'll just take his game up that whole another level, and he's just gonna be lights out this year. So
yeah,
just gotta stay fit.
Clean sweep for Romero for player of the season. UCL, Chang, how do you think we fare in the UCL, and who do you think wins the UCL?
I think that we get out of group stage. I think we draw probably a team about on our level, so not one of the big boys in the round of 16, and then we 32. Win that game. Oh shit, bro!
Isn't it? Or like, yeah. Or yeah, 32.
It's like the playoffs to get into the round of 16.
There's not 32 teams.
Yeah.
But
oh my god, bro! That's how long we haven't been in the Champions League. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm actually really sorry. So yeah, we have the whole. Dude, cut that part out. Jesus Christ. I think that we probably. What is it? So we don't get straight into the round of 16. We have to go through the round of 32.
We have to like win.
Only the top 8 go through.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we finished top 8. I think we probably do have to play that round of 32 game. I think we win that. I think we win round of 16, and then I think we go out in the quarters, which is like
damn. We'll run. So happy with that.
Yeah, So
Keegan?
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
like
wait,
almost.
Chang, who do you think is winning the Champions
who
League?
I think is winning it? Barcelona, I think.
Okay.
I agree. I think that it's like almost sort of difficult not to make it into the playoffs. Like you have to pretty much lose almost every. It's like the top 24 out of 32
Yeah.
make it into the playoffs. I would be really surprised if we didn't make it into the playoffs at least. But I think that we'll probably lose in the playoffs. Like I think like there's so much quality in the Champions League. Like we could make it like just into the playoffs, and then they're like think of the teams that were in the playoffs last season. Like there's teams like AC Milan and like well I guess they're not playing the Champions League, but like really like high quality like top tier like European teams that just don't put a ton of effort into the first like stages of the Champions League and end up finishing like 16th or something, and like we're gonna draw somebody like that, and I think we'll probably go out, but I think that's probably like a okay result, like get in the top 24 and compete in the playoffs, and I'm happy. There's other things that are probably higher priority.
And you have Barca as well.
I think I probably have Barca. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I have us getting to the round of 16. So I think we win the first playoff match. Hopefully we don't draw someone like crazy good, but think we win that and then bow out at the round of 16. And I think the Champions League winner is going to be Liverpool FC. So that's my prediction. Coach?
I think round of 16 is probably where we get. And I have Barcelona winning it. I think they're just one of the best teams.
A lot of Barcelona love on this podcast. Especially for like we're a member of the White Cartel, so I don't know. Like, are we like are we all picking Barcelona?
I'm not a member of that.
Maybe a Madrid run, but yeah. So cup predictions, Chang. Where do you see us in the domestic cups?
I think we win Carabao Cup. I think with this new like compete on all fronts kind of mindset, I think we don't really obviously probably not going to push for the Prem, probably not going to push for the UCL. I think we could probably get one of the more minor trophies. I think Carabao would probably be a good entry level trophy for Frank to win on his first season. I think FA Cup maybe semifinals.
Okay. Yeah, I back it. I got us winning FA Cup. I think we can win that tournament, and I'd rather win it than the Carabao. And I said Carabao lose like quarterfinals or something. I think after we lose in the Carabao, we're going to be like, oh, we really got to go for this FA Cup, win a trophy this year. Try hard for that. So, yeah. Keegan?
Yeah, it's so difficult to predict how we're going to do in the cups because it's all based on your draw. I would like to give myself a little bit of flowers. I think I predicted all three of our cup outages last season. I predicted we'd win the Europa League, and I predicted both when we were going to go out of the cups.
That's crazy.
So yeah, if you want to if you have like $1,000 laying around, then listen to what I'm about to say and throw it on Spurs. But I think that we're gonna probably bow. I think we'll make it to the FA Cup semis. I think we'll probably bow to the Carabao Cup early. I think it'll take. I think I predict having a bit of a slower start to the season, hovering around the top half, and then kind of. I think Frank is kind of like the opposite of new manager bounce. I think that he's someone that has like a kind of unique and complex system. He has so much versatility. I think we'll probably start a little bit slower, maybe lose in an early draw to like a Villa or Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, and then again like Max said, go a bit farther, make it to the semis of the FA Cup.
Yeah, Coach.
I don't want to put a damper on it, but Thomas Frank, when he started with Brentford, I think only won one game in his first 10. I remember in like a press conference before the Super Cup, they asked him questions about that. So I agree. I think it's going to be a slow start. I think the FA Cup is our best chance, and I think we'll get to the finals. I don't know if we'll win it, but I think we'll get to the finals. And then Carabao Cup, I think it was just. I think because we start slow, I just don't see that as a option, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Now for our final prediction of the video. Premier League prediction. So Premier League place for Tottenham, and then your top 5 in the Champions League spots in the Prem, and then your 3 that are going back down to the Championship. Chang, I'll start it off with you.
Yeah, so I think Spurs finished 4th. I think the teams that are obviously like strengthened a lot, Liverpool, Man City come to mind. I think Arsenal haven't really strengthened as much. I don't think they're going to be that good, and I think Arteta is going to be sacked at the end of the season when he does absolutely fuck all. And then I have Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to finish 3rd. So I have Liverpool, City, Chelsea. I think Chelsea are a team that look really good. I think Maresca is a pretty good manager, and they've definitely had the signings to bolster their squad. I think Manchester United miss out. They have strengthened massively, but when have they not? And they all are inevitably going to flop. And then the teams I have going down are Burnley 20th, Leeds 19th, Bournemouth 18th. Burnley, they're just bad. Leeds, they're also just not that good. And then Bournemouth lost their entire defense, so I think they're gonna be pretty bad. So
Who'd you have winning the Prem again? Sorry.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. All right, Keegan.
I'll start with my top 4. I have it going City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and then I have Spurs finishing 8th. And then getting relegated, I have Brentford, Burnley, and West Ham.
Okay, interesting. West
Not
Ham.
in that order. I think West Ham will finish 18th. But
Coach.
I think mine is I'm going City as winning it. I got Liverpool getting 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, Arsenal 4th, United 5th, and that makes Spurs 6th. I think United with no European football, I think they're going to kind of pull what Chelsea did, just get into the Champions League spot. And then the bottom 3, I have Leeds, Burnley, and Wolves. I have Wolves going down. I think I just don't. They had some transfers out. I don't know. I don't know if they had anyone come in that's big. So I see them going down.
quick shout out to Sunderland and none of our predictions so far staying up.
Yeah, and I'll keep it going. I'll start with I mean I spoiled it. I don't have Sunderland going down. I have the same as Keegan, Brentford. Oh wait, no, I don't have West Ham. I have Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley in that order going down. Brentford because Tommy Frank was the sole, and Embuemo were the sole things keeping those guys like
too now.
Also lost their guard. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much their whole team and manager. Yeah, so that's not great. Top 5, I have City winning it. I have Coach's exact one. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, 5th. And then I have Tottenham 6th as well. So I do think United, for the same reason that Daniel just outlined, I have them getting 5th. No European football. Sesko, Cunha.
What's his name, Max?
Oh, Seska Fender, Cunha, Embuemo, Lenda Euro. I mean, Baliba. Like, this is a team, bro. If they get Baliba, like, that's a fucking team. The questions are defensively. I know Chang absolutely hates United, so he's out. But I think their business this summer, pretty good. Pretty good. I think better than Arsenal. I think on par
100%.
with Chelsea.
Only one that's better business is Liverpool for me.
Yeah.
They went unproven this time.
I think
United. Yeah.
I think it's crazy that United was able to buy players when their whatever guy came out in that interview saying that United had no money at all and how they couldn't pay for people's lunches and
Their stadium leaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, their stadium's like leaking and shit.
Yeah.
It's chill. Like just throw 80 mil to Benjamin Sesko. I don't know. I'm still kind of high on them. They're playing Arsenal this weekend, so fucking that's massive.
Hey everyone, Robbie Light here at Robbie Light on Twitter, at Robbie_Light on all other social medias. Myself and Scott G. Bird couldn't be here live to do the season predictions, so I'm just going to drop a quick video here. Shout out Scott G. Bird on Real Father Duty, our pod father. He won't be able to make this, so we'll just have to roast him when he puts his takes in the group chat. I'll go quickly here because the group covered everything already. Young player of the season. If you've heard the pod before, you know I love my Swedes. I think the only answer here has got to be Bergvall. If he goes, it's going to change a lot for our season. Breakout player most improved. I think this one might be a little bit of a shocker. I'm going to say Christian Romero. I think there's a lot of room for improvement from him as captain. He's played less than 60% of all minutes and all comps over the last 2 seasons because of injury. I think the new Frank system will ask a lot less of him from like a speed running standpoint, as Van de Ven as well might make his injuries kind of on the back burner there. We may have some more center back signings. I like Romero to be a weapon. I think we saw in the Super Cup that our center backs could score goals this year. So crazy shout. Maybe Romero, 10 goals across all comps this year. Just going to throw it out there. Disappointment. My answer to this question is whoever is still on the roster between Solomon, Bissouma, and Brian Hill. I will be disappointed if any of those 3 are still on the roster. Newcomer. I'm not going to play the game of, oh my God, we're going to sign somebody. So I think the only answer for me is Kudus. He's going to be dynamic. He might have that Brian Mbumo type season for Brentford last year with us this year. Goal scorer, I really want it to be Solanke. I'm going to say Dom Solanke. If our striker can score a ton of goals, we're in a good spot. Playmaker, again, I think the answer should be Eze if we sign Eze, but if we don't sign Eze, maybe Pedro Porro is going to lead the team in assists this year. Random prediction, anything Spurs related. Thomas Frank crash out. There's got to be a moment where he just gets sick of the press, the fans, the constant questions, the labels this club gets. Thomas Frank's going to have a crash out at some point this year. Player of the season. I think based on what we've seen in preseason, player of the season might be Pape Sarr. Wild card, if Kulusevski comes back sometime this fall, by the end of the year, it may end up being Kulusevski. Cup predictions, Champions League. I think we're going to make it to the knockout round, like the playoff round where you didn't quite make the jump, the cut, but you're in a playoff game and we're probably going to lose. Cup predictions. I've got semifinal of the FA Cup. I'd love for us to win the FA Cup, but we need some more signings first. Carabao Cup, maybe quarterfinal. Prem prediction, top 5, bottom 3. Top 5, I've got Liverpool winning the league. I think obvious answer. Chelsea at number 2, City at 3, Arsenal at 4. You know, they're still a good team, but ain't no way they're winning the league. 5 is a tough one. I know Newcastle is probably selling Isak, so it's got to be for me between Villa and Newcastle. Haven't seen enough yet from United. I know there's a ton of new signings, but they do that every year and it doesn't always gel. So I'll wait to see on that. Bottom 3. This one I might go a little wild card here. I think Leeds bottom 3, Burnley bottom 3, but I like Sunderland's chances of staying up. They bought a lot of players, so I'm going to say West Ham get relegated. Shocker. Tottenham final position, probably 6 or 7. I know a couple of the other guys said same thing. So until I see more signings, Europa League again, but hey, that's okay with me.
But yeah, we'll close it out. Thank you all for getting to this point with just last predictions. You guys can just go ahead 3 in a row. Burnley, Saturday morning, score predictions. Go ahead. Whatever order you guys want.
3-0.
1-0 Spurs.
Damn.
I say 3-1.
5-0. Let's fucking go, dude. We always kill Burnley, bro. I swear we always kill Burnley at home. They're the worst team in the Prem by a lot. So Yeah, like I said, free week. So let's go.
I'm nervous because Thomas Frank's history with Brentford, 1 win in 10 games.
We're also just gonna sit 11 men inside their own 18-yard box. We have no attacking midfield.
We have Kudus now, bro. We don't have to watch Brennan Johnson in the low block. Like that's like one of the worst.
Brennan Johnson in a low block once more in my life.
One of the worst like human experiences. Like, it's watching Brennan Johnson trying to break down a low block. Hopefully we have Eze by then. Unlikely, but yeah. Thank you guys all for watching. Like, subscribe, Emerald Lilywhite on all social media platforms. Pop out to the Wits End, Infinity Ridge, Cascades in Puyallup to watch the games with the Seattle Spurs community. They'll have Burnley this weekend for sure. Seattle Spurs on all social media. Robbie and Scott couldn't be here, but they are recording supplemental videos that will be edited in after this, or maybe before this part, with their predictions. So you're going to get it from the whole crew. That's Robbie_Light. That's Scott G Bird on Twitter. Chang, thank you. It's Alex Chang with an X instead of an A. Keegan McMurray on Twitter. Daniel, I don't think has a Twitter, but shout out for the fantastic debut on the show. Me, Max Going Limbs on Twitter. Thank you guys all for watching. And lastly, come on, you Spurs. Let's have a great season.